Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of the Tech Convo podcast with me, Chims Bato and
Mark.
Yes.
So today we have a very special guest with us.
Yes, and we have an exciting conversation. As you are aware, this is Cybersecurity Awareness Month, so we've brought in a cybersecurity expert here to help us to tackle our discussion.
Exactly.
Yes, Nancy, welcome to the Tech Convo podcast.
Thank you. I hope you're doing fine.
Yeah, we are doing well.
We're well.
Good.
Now that you're here, we're well. Yeah. So I think for starters, it's the question that we all ask. I mean, we always get to ask, how did you find yourself in this?
Field of cybersecurity, yeah.
What triggered your interest? And
Well, from my side, I would mention that first and foremost, I didn't study cybersecurity.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's I have to say just from the get-go.
Yes.
And but even if I didn't study cybersecurity, I did computer science.
Okay.
So after finishing high school, my parents were very big at having a daughter who's gonna do medicine, which is an African thing.
Yeah, especially if you've got good brains.
Which is an African
you
thing.
must be a doctor or a lawyer.
That's it. So I remember when our results came out, my father was so excited. I was like, and plus the way she has a body, she'll just be lifting patients and the like. But it wasn't really my thing because I struggled all throughout school with different fields that I wanted to be.
Yes.
One point I wanted to do demography, I wanted to be an engineer,
Oh,
like a lot of thoughts over my journey. So when the time came that I had to go into uni, I had to pick a school that had a diversification of different programs.
Okay, yeah.
So I ended up being in a particular field, particular school.
Okay.
And during that time where we are just the first year, you are doing that. My interest was, I grew a lot of interest in computer science.
Yeah.
Okay.
Being an introduction course, I really enjoyed it. And I had a friend who was breathing under my throat almost every time to say, you have to do computer science. Like, the future is technology.
The future is IT.
And I said, but come on, I can do engineering. Like, no. You just have to do computer science. With a friend breathing under my throat telling me to do computer science and even me enjoying that program, I ended up doing computer science. So I had my degree in computer science, but even along the journey, when I was introduced to cybersecurity in my last year, I kind of enjoyed it a lot.
Oh, yeah.
And I would tell myself, you know what, if I had to venture into specialization, I think computer science would be a very good field for me.
Yes.
Of course.
So after finishing that, of course, in between jobs, you're a graduate looking for a job, and then an organization came up looking for interns in cybersecurity.
Okay.
It was my one shot at one thing that I thought I really loved.
Yeah.
I would say thought because it's something that you are not yet there.
Yes.
Okay.
And you are seeing it from afar.
Yes. You don't have any prior experience.
Exactly. So it's like a thought.
Yeah.
Like I can really enjoy this because I've enjoyed it just from the theoretical point of view, but I would love to get into the actual work.
Yes.
So it was my one shot. Lucky enough, I got invited for the interviews, and then I prepared. I'll say I prepared because I knew it was my one shot.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
I prepared, and I enjoyed the interview process. Even up to now, I still talk about it because it was after that interview, I was like, hey, I have this job. Like, I did the best.
Yeah.
And I'm sure even the people who were interviewing me were like, happy about the interview. Like, the whole process was very smooth for me.
Yeah.
Even when I was going home, I was just like, I have this job.
I've done
Of
this.
course.
Unless if they're just not looking for people.
Yeah.
But otherwise, if they want people,
You were
I am that list. So that's how really my journey in cybersecurity came in, being with an organization that is doing 360 cybersecurity.
Okay.
And I was introduced to the whole cycle.
Yeah. That's a pretty interesting journey. So I think the defining moment for you was that internship.
Yes.
Yeah, and then from the internship you started working, and then is there any specific moment through your work experience that made you decide that okay, I was just trying out this, like you said, but then you decided okay, let me just stick to this?
I wouldn't say there was a specific moment, but what I would say is the whole entire experience of being an intern and being introduced to the real world thing gave me that light bulb moment to say, wow, like this is really good. Like, this is really good.
Oh yeah.
You know, it's like where every day you are waking up every day looking forward to go to work, and Saturday, Sunday doesn't define anything to
you still want to be at work.
And the gospel truth is, I was always at work. I was always at work.
Oh, yeah.
And our colleagues would be like, hey,
we need to hang out.
like, come on, can you come out of it? Can you come out of it? I was just enjoying that moment and having to discover more, because it's a very big or diverse field, and having to discover more and more each and every moment gave me that satisfying moment of wanting to always be there, and also feeling this is the right field for me, because even just how things have been moving, trying to work, I've been a consultant for the longest. So having to work with different environments, different fields in different sectors, it's just given me that satisfaction in me about being in the right moment.
Okay.
And the most important thing, the other important thing is that when it comes to cybersecurity, we have global shortage of skills.
Okay.
So imagine you're in a field where they want you. So where else do you want to go? A field where they don't want you? Yeah.
Okay. So based on like that, maybe did you perhaps have like any challenges with that?
Challenges, yes, they've always been there.
Okay.
Challenges have been there, and the reason why challenges have been there is because, first and foremost, I'll talk about the maturity level of cybersecurity in Zambia. The maturity level has not always been there. This is when we are actually realizing that we need this more than ever.
Yes.
And looking at just the direction of the world, the digital transformation issues, artificial intelligence, edge computing,
of course,
quantum computing, and all these other things, edge technology, and all these other things. It's just brought in a light to say we need cybersecurity more than ever.
Yes.
And because you are taking skills to an environment that is not yet mature for it. It becomes already a challenging point. And also the competence levels are also some of the challenges we have to face. Because we've done theory, now we are in the actual environment. Now the actual environment is totally different from the theoretical point of view. So then you have to be the expert. So the challenges, we've faced a lot of, personally in my journey, I've faced a lot of challenges.
As we know, there are new trends every time, like people get to develop new techniques to maybe break into systems. So like, what are some of the most trending things right now that every person and business should kind of be aware of in terms of cybersecurity?
In terms of, cybersecurity is, there are certain things that we just need to do.
Yes.
And if we're not doing what we have to do, then we're of course exposing our environment for businesses.
Yes.
So things like simple hygiene, cybersecurity hygiene, simple cybersecurity hygiene, ensuring that your passwords are regularly changed, you have strong passwords. These are simple things.
Yes.
Updating your software, because some of us, even just our laptop, will demand for an update, and well, I'll do it later. Yes. Things like that. These are just simple, basic cybersecurity hygiene that people need to be aware of.
Yes.
And away from the business level, the individual level. Even just taking your social media platforms and ensuring that you check your security settings, enabling multi-factor authentication on your security features, your WhatsApp, your Facebook, and all these other things. They're just simple cybersecurity hygiene practices that people have to adhere to.
Yes.
Of course. Well, so like, what are some of the, of course, like based on your experience, right?
Yeah.
What are some of the, like the risks that some of these businesses in Zambia get to face, at least when it comes to cybersecurity? When it comes to
cybersecurity and risks, from the global point of view, 80% of recorded attacks are coming from phishing attacks or social engineering.
Social engineering.
Yes, I'll call it social engineering because all the phishing, the smishing, and the phishing, they're real stuff.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
And 80% of recorded attacks are actually coming from there.
And I think a lot of people think when you are being attacked, it's something that a person can just do when they just wake up in the morning, get their computer and attack you.
It's a process. It's a process. And away from even the global point of view, even locally in Zambia, even from away from the businesses, individuals. In the recent, we've seen a very high rise of smishing attacks.
Yes.
If it's me, I don't know in the last 1-2 weeks the number of messages I've received on my phone. People telling me, no, the parcel that you got, the address is not accurate.
Yeah.
Can you please click on the link and update it?
Update it.
You know, and as humans, or the nature of people, we wouldn't want to take things that don't belong to us.
Yes.
Knowing fully you didn't order for anything.
Exactly.
We're like, well, what if the parcel is good? Let me quickly update. Maybe it can come to me.
What if by accident it was in my name?
The mystery box or somehow.
It's simple things like that. So I've received quite a lot, and even the famous one to say don't send money to that number.
Okay, use
Send
this
it,
number instead.
Yes.
And they are always like, that money that send it to this number, it will bring so.
Hey, they didn't give you your name, you know. So these are simple attacks, and the bottom line is people are actually being attacked like that.
Yes.
They are falling victims of such attacks.
Of course.
And even people who are aware of such attacks are falling victims.
Yes, even people are aware.
Even yourself. I've been a victim before.
Of course.
I've been a victim before.
And then you are the expert.
You know? I was so ashamed of myself.
Yeah,
sometimes it's only when you're now knowledgeable about certain things. But it never occurred to me that this was actually an attack. Yeah.
You know, it never occurred to me. Then thereafter, I was like, oh my God.
It only hits you after it happens.
I'm never going to tell anyone about it.
You can't, because everyone will be like, you're the IT expert, you're the security expert.
You're the ones who are busy telling us about smishing, phishing, and social engineering issues.
How do you fall prey to that?
Yes, to it.
Yeah.
I think, I don't know if maybe 1 or 2 people that I've told, and it's been in that moment where someone is saying, you know, I was attacked like this, and I'm like, even me.
Yes. The same exact way.
You know, even me. So I had a friend who lost her phone.
Oh yeah.
And you know, WhatsApp issues, and we were very good friends. So she texted me saying, hey, I'm in a problem, can you please send me this money? I didn't even have that money.
Yes.
I had to borrow from another person because this was my friend.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
You know, I had to borrow money from
the
somewhere
same
else.
Number for your friend.
Yes, and it was her number.
Yes.
You know, but then she was like, no, send that money into this other account. In my mind, I was like, oh, maybe back home.
I think I've seen
You know,
It's a serious one.
that one.
I don't think I haven't experienced it from a number that I recognized before, but not from a number.
WhatsApp, actually, on WhatsApp. And then thereafter, because the person started asking for more money, so thereafter I had to reach out to her. I was like, hey, what's going on? He was like, oh, you didn't see my message. I actually broadcasted telling everybody not to send any money to me.
Okay.
You see? I was like, no, I didn't see it. She was like, oh, I actually broadcasted because apparently this person who stole my phone has reached out to quite a number of people. And others, you're not the only one who sent money.
Yes.
Most of them sent the money.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God. You know? Like, oh my God. I didn't even realize that.
Yeah, you just sent the money,
You know?
helping your
So
friend.
nowadays when someone texts me, even if they're my friend, I'll be like, hey, is it you?
I just want to hear your voice.
I just want to confirm it's you. Like, because I have experienced this before, so I don't want to experience it again. So it's like very real issues. So phishing is one of the major risks. Yes. And what we normally say is that people are the weakest link in this cycle.
Yes.
Because introducing a virus to your computer or experiencing a ransomware in your organization can be just by a person clicking on a link because they said payroll.
And then they use the company computer too.
You know? And even when it comes to spear phishing, it's even worse because then they're targeting you in a position like maybe if you are the CFO of an organization.
Of course.
Okay,
and the email seems like it's coming from your CEO.
You.
Oh, yeah.
Who is telling you to say, can you please send that money to this account?
And maybe you might have even had like a conversation based on...
Yes. That's why cybersecurity awareness should never be an ever-ending conversation.
Yes, it should be continuous.
It should be a continuous process. And the problem is that people are now claiming, no, we're doing cybersecurity awareness. No, we're doing cybersecurity awareness. The next question I ask is, how effective is it?
Yes.
how effective is it? Are your users or your learners actually learning the skills they need to learn? Because now when it comes to even automated cybersecurity awareness, people play videos and forget. Like, I just want to have access to my system so that I can work. Can this thing finish playing as fast as possible so that I can move on? Now it's about the effectiveness of that. It's phishing has caused a lot of problem and havoc around the world. Yes. And businesses, individuals have been victims of that.
And a lot of people are not so much aware of social engineering attacks, because most of the times the person is using your psychology, trying to study you, learn you, and manipulate you in the end. By the time you realize it,
you're gone. And then you hear someone talking about, no, it's cybersecurity awareness, be aware of it. It's like, oh my God, it's too late. I already lost money. Because even the report that was given by Zikta, the phishing attacks were like the highest in billions when it comes to the money that was lost. That's where we are.
Then I think, talking about awareness, one important thing that I've gotten from your story is that when you told someone and then somebody says it also happened to me. So I think people should be open enough to share experiences in case you've been attacked. Then somebody can learn from it. Because I think if it happened to your friend and then she told you, it wouldn't have happened to you.
You know, and then it should be a space where even people in bigger positions should be open about. Because for me, I didn't talk about it because I was ashamed. Honestly, like
looking at your
I train people on these things.
How do I just come out?
You know, like a space where people should come and say, you know what, be aware of this.
Yes.
I did this and this happened to me. I know my space where I am right now, but it's a point for me to learn and a point for you to learn as well.
Yes. And that would help a lot of people. I think if we just came out and expressed ourselves, people would at least learn one or two things. Yeah. Looking at cybersecurity as well, I think from individual point of view, I think a lot of people, like you've said, they need to practice cybersecurity hygiene, like learn the few basic things that they need to do to protect themselves. But then when it comes to institutions like companies and businesses, most of them feel like it might be too expensive to hire a consultant, for instance. And then, so if you look at it from that, how do people who are on a low budget protect themselves?
Costs, budgets have been issues that we've always battled with.
Yes.
Like I said, it's an environment where the maturity of cybersecurity was not very much known. And when moments you start telling them about the costs, they'll think it's a scam. Like, come on, every organization wants to maximize their profits.
Exactly.
They want to cut down on the expenses. And if they're not seeing that direct return of investment to say, if we protect our environment, then we protect ourselves from cyber attacks that can cause reputational damage on us as an institution or financial loss. And if there's no direct communication, especially to people that sit above, on these different dangers that if we have to invest in cybersecurity it becomes a problem to convince someone to pay. Nevertheless, it doesn't stop any organization from putting in place the proper controls to protect themselves. Even simple cyber hygiene like ensuring strong password will not cost you a lot.
Yes,
cybersecurity awareness will not cost you a lot. Even just ensuring that your governance levels in an organization are proper, like your policies, your procedures, and everything are well documented and tailored to your institution, it will not cost you a lot.
Yes.
Because we think cybersecurity is like that big budget.
Yes.
But the bottom line is that a lot of organizations are now increasing their budget on cybersecurity because they're now seeing the issues and the risks that are coming with it. But proper cyber hygiene, even utilize from the technology point of view, even utilize an open source solution is fine. If you have to manage your costs, if you have to manage your institution, even utilize an open source solution is fine.
Yes, of course.
It shouldn't be the only way out. Because you'll find that big organizations dealing with very critical sensitive information are still relying on open source solutions.
They hold personal data for their clients.
You know, sovereign data. They're keeping that sovereign data for people, and just lean into the open source solutions.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be the case. But for every organization, they should do one or two things to ensure that they put in place the necessary controls.
Of course.
And people should take care of the simple things, just things like just updating your software.
Yes.
Because if you look at, was it the WannaCry attack? It was due to people using outdated Windows systems. Those were like the weakest computers that the attackers managed to gain access to.
It's very simple thing.
Yeah.
Even your backup. If you're having your backup, are you even testing your backup?
Oh, yes.
It's as simple as even testing your
Easy
backup.
stuff.
Easy things. And we never pay attention to the easy things because we're always thinking about maybe I need to get a very big solution or system or whatever to come and help me protect.
It's very nice to be aware of, like just even trends, things that are popping up for you to be able to be updated sometimes.
Yeah.
What's really new. So anyway, based on that, like what are some of the threats that we can keep in mind? Like what some stuff we can look at?
We have to pay really attention to some of these things. Like what we need to keep an eye of is, let's talk about artificial intelligence, for instance.
Yes.
Let's talk about artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence is one of the most powerful technologies or advancement in technologies that we're experiencing. And it's working for us, and it's also working against us.
Yes.
From the attacker point of view, they are now using artificial intelligence-powered systems to attack you. And from an organization point of view, you can actually use artificial intelligence-powered tools to protect yourselves.
Yeah.
You see?
Yes.
So we have to keep an eye on certain items like artificial intelligence tools that can make my life easier for me to protect myself.
Yes.
Of course.
You see? These powered artificial, and there's even cloud security, because people talking, let's go to the cloud, let's go to the cloud, and let's go to the cloud. But as you are thinking of migrating to the cloud, what security is
measures
there
are you putting in place
for security in the cloud? Cloud security or cloud computing or whatever it is some of the things that we have to be aware of. You see? We just, and even the issue of digital transformation. Then we are putting almost everything on the internet. So now we are talking about IoT, Internet of Things, right? The vulnerability level scale is now becoming large. The attack surface is increasing. So now we have to be aware of all the all IoT technology and what solution or security controls are we going to put in place for this IoT technology.
Yes.
So we just have to be aware of the different, especially environments or organizations that want to serve their customers better, finding easier ways. But in as much as we are trying to find easier ways, we have to be aware of all these trends in technology. You see?
From now, we can try to move into, I know you introduced yourself as we are starting, but we'll just get back to you a little bit. I'm aware that you recently started your own cybersecurity firm, right? Can you just talk a bit about that experience of you switching from formal employment to starting your own firm? Because we know that some of our listeners are thinking of the same transition right now.
Well, the transition process itself, I would say a combination of being passionate about what I'm doing, loving it a lot. At the same time, the experience that I've had.
Yes.
And also looking at the challenges organizations are facing. Started to start doing my own thing, offering those services, because I understand from moving from one organization to another as a consultant, knowing the different challenges they have and how best I can serve them. And that has been the whole experience. So it's a step-by-step process. So our organization is looking at cybersecurity, looking at IT, looking at ESG, as well as training. Training is a very big component, because the competence levels for people in the industry or people who want to go into the industry, there's a gap.
Yes.
Identified that gap in my experience, and I would want to put in more effort in helping bridging that gap. I want to help SMEs. You asked a very interesting question to say, small organizations, what's going to happen to them? Because they don't have big budgets for that, you know? And I'm looking at SMEs and saying, I can be of help, you know? our institution can be of help. We can direct you in the right path that you have to take without having to spend so much.
Yes.
Do you know what's getting to me? No, she's a lady, right?
Yeah.
She's a lady. So, how are you finding it, first of all? How are you as a lady? Like, how?
It's not easy, and this thing it's not even about me being a lady, honestly, but it's just not an easy thing, having to leave employment and saying I'm going to start my own thing, you know? Yes. it's not an easy thing, but, and you know, the most interesting thing as a female in my experience, I've had to work with a lot of men.
Guys, yeah.
Because I remember when I started working, for a long period of time I was the only female.
Okay.
For a very long time, I was the only female until other people came in. And the other people came in. I had to attend. I have attended a lot of meetings where I'm the only female, maybe 2 females, 3 females, and then you're on the table and you're the one doing the presentation, and everybody's listening to you. And you know, that kind of experience has made me believe anything is possible, really, regardless of gender. And the gospel truth is, as females, we've had to face a few things here and there because we're females. But I don't see that to be a problem
anymore.
And I'm even the type of person that will say, you know what, like if she's giving you a lot of excuses, why have her? You know? And people will think I'm being ruthless. But the bottom line is, what matters the most is performance.
That's
deliverables. So, and I wouldn't want anybody to see me, if I say that I'm a consultant and I can help you, I wouldn't want anyone to see me as female.
The female,
yes,
no.
They should just
they should look at what I can you do.
Professional.
What can I do? What can I do for you? How can I help you meet your strategic goals? How can I help you maximize on your profit?
Yes.
It's about deliverables. It's about deliverables. Can I deliver? And that's what should be the most important thing. And that's what I would love everybody to take it.
Yes.
Of course, females have got their own challenges. That much I will not lie. We have our own issues, bottom line. But but that should never be anything that should justify people giving you work or trusting in you
that should not
and
even
the like.
come up.
And maybe one of the challenges I would say that startup organizations mainly face is people, it's the same thing as a graduate.
Yes.
They want you to have experience.
Of course.
But if you are not giving me work, how would you even know? You know, like how would you even know? Because even in my previous life, I've been doing this work. But if you want something that an organization has done, perhaps I might not have it right now. Because even when you offer free services, people will take forever. Like, I'm doing this for free for you. You know, I'm doing this for free. I'm not asking you to buy my service thereafter.
We are about to conclude this session. So just as we conclude, do you have like any last remarks or statements that you just want to give out there?
I would say I'll put this in 2 sections.
Okay.
I'll put them in 2 sections. So the first section would be for people that are looking at going into cybersecurity, right? Competence development or learning never ends.
Yes.
I don't know about other fields.
I
don't know about other fields, but when it comes to this field, it never ends.
Yes.
To be honest, I feel like technology just...
I
just feel like technology itself, like any field in there, I think you just have to...
It's ever evolving.
You just have to...
it never ends. And I remember when starting work, we had a lot of stuff to read, exams to write, and the like. And my cousin would laugh at me. She'd be like, I thought you were done with school. It never ends. And even looking years now, it's still there. Because I was even thinking today, I have 3 exams I have to write, and I have like more training coming up after next week. And I'm like, oh my God, like how will I do this? Like embracing the issue of always trying to add more to yourself should be your lifestyle, and never feeling like I'm tired, I don't want to do this anymore. Technology is going to come and pass you by, and you will no longer be relevant to the industry.
Yes, because
you're not keeping up.
You're not keeping up.
You're not keeping up. Like that trend of learning each and every day never ends.
Yes.
And you have to embrace it.
You're building on what is there. You keep on building.
You keep on building. It's like a building that never ends. I guess we're going to heaven. And for organizations, the issue of governance, the issue of putting everything together in terms of your rules, your policies and procedures, should be a never-ending issue.
Yes. Because
even from experience, we'll just be like, guys, governance. I think even my colleagues, my colleagues always hear me saying governance, because we are never paying attention to simple things like having proper policies and procedures in an organization.
Yes. And
when you don't have proper order on how to do things,
people just do whatever.
There's chaos.
Yeah.
There's chaos. Even just from the world, as a country, we have constitutions that guide us. Churches have got things that they have to abide by.
Yes.
So an organization or an institution in the field of IT or technology or cybersecurity, you need to have those
security policies.
There are do's and don'ts.
Yes, that should guide what you do. And if you comply to what you have on a daily basis, you are positioning yourself with a proper posture. We're not saying you're never going to get attacked. No. No. But at least you're reducing the impact.
Because I feel like these people who get to like come up with such, they always have like a new trick coming every single time. So you just have to be updated.
You just constantly have to keep the right things, because even just for you to be up there, you have to have things that would say, hey guys, we need to review our policies and procedures and tailor them to the new things that are happening. And if you're not having such things that to tell you to do that, and this brings me to the very important point of adopting frameworks, adopting standards in your institution, so that you can have a proper framework of doing things. You don't chipante. You avoid that.
Yes.
You have a standard way of doing your things, your practices, when you're going to do that, when you're going to do that, the regular checkups and all these other things. Like bringing all that into perspective is very important.
Yeah.
Just adopting framework standards in an organization really helps.
There we have it.
Yeah, it was a very, very great conversation. I'm pretty sure our audience have enjoyed it.
And they're inspired.
Yes. And learned one or two things from the entire conversation.
To those who watched to the end, you're the one.
Yeah. So Nancy, it was very nice to have you on the podcast today.
Thank you.
Yes.
Myself and Celia appreciate it.
All right. Thank you to our audience for watching. Bye.